FoodDash can now survive losing an entire cloud region. Mumbai can disappear, and Singapore can take over. On paper, the system is ready for disaster. But management asks two questions the architecture diagram cannot answer. After a real disaster, how long will FoodDash remain unavailable? And how much recent order data could disappear? Saying we will recover quickly sounds reassuring, but without measurable targets, it means nothing. Welcome back to Engineering Systems. In the previous episode, an accidental deletion replicated from Mumbai to Singapore. It proved that healthy infrastructure is not the same as recoverable data. Disaster recovery gave FoodDash a way back. Now the team must define what an acceptable recovery actually means. That requires two objectives: recovery time objective, or RTO, and recovery point objective, or RPO. They sound similar, but they measure different dimensions of the incident. RTO answers the service question: how long can this system remain unavailable after a serious disruption? Imagine FoodDash checkout fails at 7 in the evening, and its RTO is 30 minutes. The recovery plan is designed to restore checkout by 7:30. That target influences whether capacity is already waiting, how much recovery is automated, who must respond, and how many manual steps are acceptable. A shorter RTO demands a faster operating path back to service. RTO is an objective. It is not a prediction, and it is not a promise that the system automatically satisfies. If the target is 30 minutes, but the restore drill takes 50, the architecture is missing its RTO. Teams must measure recovery during exercises. That includes detection, decision-making, data restoration, application startup, validation, and traffic reopening. A beautifully written runbook does not meet an RTO until people and systems can execute it within the required time. RPO answers the data question: how much recent data can the business accept losing? It is measured backward in time from the incident to the latest recoverable point. Suppose the destructive change happens at 7, and FoodDash can safely restore the database to 6:55. The 5-minute gap is the potential data loss. Orders created during that window may need reconstruction. So this recovery point represents an RPO of approximately 5 minutes. If the most recent usable backup is from 6:30, the exposure becomes 30 minutes, even if the servers recover in 10. Backup frequency influences RPO, but frequency alone is not proof. A corrupted backup, missing transaction logs, or replication that copied the deletion may move the last safe point much further into the past. RPO is about recoverable, correct data, not simply the timestamp on the newest file. This is the easiest way to keep the two objectives separate. RTO moves forward from the incident until the service is usable again. RPO moves backward from the incident to the latest safe data point. RTO measures downtime. RPO measures data exposure. A system can have a short RTO and a poor RPO, returning quickly with many orders missing. It can also have an excellent RPO and a long RTO, preserving almost every order while restoration takes hours. FoodDash should not assign one target to every workload. Checkout and payment state directly affect revenue and correctness. They may need an RTO of 15 minutes and an RPO of 1 minute. Restaurant menus can tolerate a longer recovery and slightly older data, perhaps a 1-hour RTO and a 15-minute RPO. Historical analytics may accept several hours of downtime and a much older recovery point. Business impact defines the targets. The importance of the technology does not. Tighter objectives cost more. Reducing RTO may require warm capacity, automated promotion, pre-configured networking, continuous health checks, and an on-call team that practices the sequence. Reducing RPO may require frequent snapshots, transaction log shipping, point-in-time recovery, cross-region replication, protected storage, and continuous restore validation. Pursuing zero downtime and zero data loss sounds ideal. But each step toward zero increases cost and coordination, and some failure modes still make absolute zero impossible. FoodDash therefore records recovery targets beside each critical service, then designs the recovery architecture to match. For checkout, the team keeps a warm application stack, streams database logs to protected storage, and runs automated restore drills. For menus, less expensive backups and a slower rebuild may be acceptable. During every exercise, engineers compare the measured recovery time with RTO and the recovered data point with RPO. If either target is missed, the recovery plan is not ready, regardless of how healthy the dashboard looked before the test. The important lesson is that RTO and RPO are business decisions translated into engineering constraints. RTO tells us how quickly service must return. RPO tells us how much recent data may be lost. Together, they determine the recovery strategy, automation, storage, staffing, testing, and cost. Without them, disaster recovery is only a vague intention. With them, recovery becomes a system that can be designed, measured, and improved. In the next episode, we will use these targets to compare backup and restore strategies, including snapshots, transaction logs, and point-in-time recovery. Thank you for watching Engineering Systems. If this series is helping you build a clearer mental model of distributed systems, consider subscribing. And as always, keep learning.